Hello, today I will be talking about the movie Killing a Softly 4. Um, the film talks about how advertising affects women's views in society, um, and it uses a lot of lighting, sound, and post production techniques to make it really powerful. And I want to talk about all of those. So it said to give an example of three examples of them. So I wanted to give one example of each. Um, one one thing, the first one was lighting, so I wanted to talk about that first. One of the major film techniques is bright and beautiful lighting, like the perfect lighting that they have in all the advertisements. Um, and it does that same thing in the movie. And the ads make the woman's skin look smooth and glowing, and they even probably put some After Effects on it, like airbrush on it, to make it look perfect. And the director uses it to show how it makes an impossible beauty standard because nobody can have that flawless of skin, and maybe if some people can, it's not possible for everyone to have that. Um, the effect of it is it makes it feel artificial, but still perfect. So artificial perfection. It makes everyone look like too perfect. All the models look like perfect versions of people, and they make women idolize it and want to become like that. But realistically, it's not possible for everyone to be like that, and it makes women um, less human than they should be. Um, and somewhere that I noticed this in real life is on social media. People use ring lights or get into find perfect lighting in random places. Um, yeah, it'll just make it show that everyone has this perfect glow, even though that's not realistic for what actually happens in real life. And everyone can also edit their photos and make it look like that too. The other thing I want to talk about was sound, and um, especially in the narration, her voice is calm and steady, and it makes it a little disturbing because even though the um, things that we're seeing are a little disturbing, really sexualized ads or body distortion, the narration is very contrasting from that, um, because we're seeing something shocking and a little horrifying in a way. um, and his calmness and like just mellowness, it makes a big contrast there, and it tries to make us reflect on what we're actually seeing instead of scaring us. Um, um, it kind of makes it seem very academic and not emotional, which I liked because I didn't want it to be an emotional standpoint. I wanted it to be actual facts. Um, you can see this in YouTube a lot, or TikTok, or any social media where there's a video. People talk about serious social things, but it's very calm because they want people to actually understand instead of just thinking with their emotions. They want people to properly understand what's happening. Um, last one I wanted to talk about was post production editing. Um, one of the things that they use is slow motion and freeze frames on certain ads. When they freeze an image, it lets the director force us to actually notice the details of how people are, how the women in the film are posed or in the ads are posed, and how it's unrealistic for us to see it. And they use the freeze frames to see the exact moments where it's super unrealistic, and it really just shows how normal it is to be objectifying women in our culture. Um, we kind of see these ads differently when they use the freeze frames in slow motion, because when you use even a normal beauty campaign thing, it looks kind of crazy and a little disturbing when you look at it really close with this slow motion and freeze frames. Um, I've like had a similar experience a couple times when you accidentally pause on a video, um, especially like an animation, and you see what it looks like. I know there's a lot of um, like videos showing like funny little freeze frames inside of like different animation films. Um, and you kind of just see how like crazy something looks to like make it look real. They'll use crazy like absurd looking things to make things look real. Um, Overall, Killing Us Softly 4, it uses lighting, sound, and like editing and like post production to expose like hidden manipulation and like how like advertisements can shape us and in like a bad way and make us think unrealistic things and try to like um, change the way we see everything. Um, by using all the techniques that the director used, she kind of shows how it doesn't just advertisements don't just sell products, but it also like changes the way like our beauty standards are and sells um, ideas about how identity and beauty should be. Um, Even though the film was made in 2010, I think it's very um, obvious that these things are still happening today and probably even more than they were in 2010. So yeah, thank you so much.